No, he hasn't started yet.
Thank you very much, first of all, for, I think, being very fair and quite good during the campaign, and for coming out on relatively short notice today. All the people of Newark have to realize that there are common problems in our city because the high taxes are high taxes, whether they be North Ward or Central Ward, whether they be East Ward or South Ward. The tax rate is the same. Dirty streets in the city of Newark exist throughout our area, and they speak for themselves. And poor health conditions affect all the people in the city of Newark. Therefore, we can't grow in this city, and the city can't grow if we're going to be at each other's throats. So now is the time for all people in Newark to realize that, and I'm again issuing an appeal for all people in the city of Newark. That means all 400,000 of them join with our new administration in providing a real positive future for the city. And we'll continue working throughout the next few days and throughout the next 4 years with every single individual of the 400,000 people in our city to make it a better place to live and to improve the quality of life. Thank you.
How do you view the councilmanic race and the results?
We have step was my election on yesterday. And I think that as we develop the kind of efficient administration that we've been talking about throughout this campaign, we will have safeguards against a recurrence of those kinds of problems.
Mr. Gibson, in setting your priorities,
Deal with the services that are delivered directly to the public. The garbage collection and street cleaning, for instance, which is a function of the Public Works Department. Police protection, which is a function of the police department. Fire protection, which is a function of the fire department, will be dealt with, and the health and welfare problems, of course, dealing with the health and welfare department. These are the primary considerations and our first priorities.
how soon do you expect to move on the police department reorganization?
Is a kind of cooperation and a kind of indication that we will have a smooth transition between one administration and the other. I had two questions at once, and I think I'll answer them both. The first was whether or not we had a name. Is that we don't consider whether a person is a quote-unquote militant, but whether or not a person has an opinion which should be respected by all people in the city. And we've had differences of opinions with whites and blacks and Puerto Ricans for years, but the important thing about an administration, and that's the important thing about our democratic process, is that it should include all people of different viewpoints. And what we hope to do is to work with the so-called white militants and the so-called black militants and the so-called conservatives in this administration.
How do you expect to convince Mr. Imperiale and the white militants that they should work with the city administration?
Well, first of all, they're citizens of the city of Newark. And they have the same problems, basically, as all the rest of the people in Newark. They might have a difference as to who should have been mayor, but that has been settled. Now we have to move forward. And I don't think there's going to be any problem in dealing with any segment of our communications with these individuals. I don't see any problems at all.
In that connection, there was, in one area this morning, someone said that your administration can expect an Italian backlash, whatever that means. Now, how would you expect to deal with
well, we have to find out what that means first. I don't know what that means.
Mr. Gibson, the city of Newark has many problems, almost all of which cost a lot of money to start solving. Where's the money going to come from?
Like rocks to study, and we're going to deal with these national priorities and state priorities, and I think we can deal with them effectively. But we have to have a strong, efficient administration and a strong voice, to help to change these priorities.
In New York State, Mayor Lindsay used his position as
Public coalition is not important in my mind as long as we get the job done. We'll be working with them. Whether or not we hold press conferences or whether or not we issue press releases is not the problem. Whether or not we can get them to work in conjunction with us is, and I'm sure we can do that.
how soon does Governor Cahill expect to hear from you?
We talked to Governor Cahill last night.
Mr. Gibson, Mayor Adnese said today in Trenton that he's attempting to set up a meeting with you at this.
I don't think it carries any special measures to the national administration. I think what it does is just a change in mayors in the city of Newark, and that happens every 4 years. I think that what we're talking about is whether Ken Gibson can deal effectively with the national administration, and I'm sure I can. We will be talking with the people in Washington as soon as possible on, again, priorities dealing with the urban problem. And what we intend to do for the next 4 years.